to Art with Mrs. Beaufeaux. Today we're going to be discovering a story and beautiful illustrations by the author Maurice Sendak by reading Where the Wild Things Are. We're going to be talking specifically about texture and the creation of imagined characters. While we are reading this story, I want you to pay close attention to the illustrations and see what little parts of the creatures you notice from creatures that we already know live on our wonderful planet. Where the Wild Things Are was written and published in 1963. The book was originally going to be called Where the Wild Horses Are, but they changed the title to better fit the story. There was never a sequel written, even though this book became so popular and there were calls for doing a part 2 or a sister story. There was never a sequel written. Characters were based on Maurice's hideous-looking aunts and uncles. I wonder if you can see any specific parts of the characters that you think would match up to someone in your life, whether it's personality traits or physical attributes. As with every project, on the back we're going to start off with our name, date, and class. We're going to look a little bit at texture. Let's remember that texture is how something feels. And when we draw texture, it's called implied texture. In these illustrations by M.C. Gillis, you can see different ways that the artist drew specific feelings. There's a brick wall that shows that something hard. There's like a cloud or a bit of cotton for soft. We have bumpy, lumpy, rigid, woven, jagged, and irregular, as well as others. Let's see what you can do to your illustrations today to include texture. You have to include at least 4 different types of texture, 4 different ways that you think it would show a feeling. How are we going to create our project today? Well, we're going to think about it and plan ahead. I want you to think about 3 different areas on your creature, including the top, the middle, and the bottom portions. The top portion is going to have something to do with the head. Middle is going to be body, and the bottom is going to be legs and feet, maybe tentacles, maybe a fishtail, whatever you want to include. I hope your imaginations can run wild with this. Let's take a look at this example of Where the Wild Thing Are creatures. On the very top, you're going to notice that a head shows up. In this head, do you see any ways that the artist created texture? In the middle portion of this creature, you're going to notice something about the body. Do you see any scales? Ooh, and the arms look kind of furry and fuzzy because they did a scribble or a loop-de-loop section. Finally, looking to the bottom of this creature, I want you to notice the claws and how sharp they look with those nice jagged points. What other forms of texture could we have used in this project? Let's look back to our examples of texture. When you are creating your very own wild thing, I want you to think about a plan for your top, middle, and bottom. Remember, we need to have at least 4 different textures. We can think about things that we see on animals already, like feathers, scales, slime, and fur. Think about where your wild thing will live. This could help inform the creation of your creature, such as God gave ducks flippers because they live in and out of water, and the flippers help the duck swim through the water. I can't wait to see what you create. Let's see what I came up with this morning. After carefully drawing my silly animal, I decided to pigment the image using markers. Today you'll have your choice of whatever art material you would like to use. This includes soft pastels, markers, crayons, oil pastels, even watercolor paints. I want to see what you can create. Even though I don't really like how it turned out, I'm proud of my work because I worked hard on it. Maybe next time I do this project, I'll make something that I like a little bit more. This has been Art with Mrs. Beaufeaux. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon.